History isn't all dusty books and serious faces. It's packed with absurd, hilarious, and jaw-dropping moments that make even the wildest fiction look tame. From Napoleon being defeated by bunnies to ancient Romans creating vending machines, these tales prove one thing: the past is weird. Buckle up for 25 quirky history stories that'll leave you laughing, gasping, and maybe questioning humanity's priorities. Let's dive in. Cleopatra and her perfume. Both Cleopatra, ruler of Egypt and the undisputed queen of drama, made her mark on history, and Mark Antony, in 41 BCE with an entrance for the ages. Her ship, drenched in golden splendor and purple sails, wasn't just a visual feast, it was a nasal one too. The sails were soaked in perfume so potent that Antony smelled her before he saw her. It worked like a charm, literally. Antony was so captivated, he likely wondered if he could bottle the scent for later. Cleopatra, always one step ahead, had set the tone for one of history's most infamous love affairs. Speaking of ingenious creations, let's leave Cleopatra's perfume-sailing tactics and jump to ancient Rome, where vending machines were dispensing blessings. Ancient Roman vending machines. Hero of Alexandria didn't invent soda machines, but he came pretty close. In 1st century CE Rome, he crafted a coin-operated vending machine for holy water. Drop a coin, and out dripped the perfect amount of sanctified liquid. It was automation long before the Industrial Revolution. Sure, it wasn't dispensing snacks or fizzy drinks, but it was a game-changer for temple visits. Imagine toga-wearing Romans impatiently lining up for their turn, just like us today when the vending machine eats our coins. From innovative engineering, let's move to the battlefield, where cranes, yes, birds, trained soldiers in ancient Greece. The Battle of the Crane. In 525 BCE, Greek soldiers didn't just train against human foes, they practiced against aggressive cranes. Why cranes, you ask? With sharp beaks and swooping attacks, they were the perfect feathered adversaries. Soldiers dodged, ducked, and cursed as the birds dive-bombed their shields. Imagine a drill sergeant yelling, "Defend yourself!" as a soldier flails at a particularly angry crane. It may sound ridiculous, but it worked, assuming you weren't pecked to death first. And if you thought birds in warfare were strange, wait until you hear about medieval animals standing trial. Medieval animal trials. In medieval Europe, justice wasn't just for humans. It extended to animals too. In 1386, a pig was sentenced to death for killing a child. It was dressed in human clothes and publicly hanged. Meanwhile, rats were more cunning. They hired lawyers. One legal defense argued the rat's absence in court was due to fear of cats. Absurd? Absolutely. But it shows that medieval justice was, if nothing else, entertainingly thorough. From pigs on trial to treasure lost forever, let's move to a swampy tale of King John's misfortune. King John's lost treasure. In 1216, King John of England lost his crown jewels, not in battle, but in a swamp. While crossing the Wash, a treacherous marsh in East Anglia, his baggage train sank, taking the royal treasures with it. To this day, treasure hunters scour the area, armed with metal detectors and hope. Some claim it's still there, while others suggest it was stolen. Either way, John's knack for losing things earned him a place in history, and not in a good way. And speaking of siege tactics, our next story involves bread fired from cannons. Yes, you heard that right. The Siege of Castel Sant'Angelo. In 1527, Pope Clement VII faced starvation while under siege in Castel Sant'Angelo. His solution? Bread cannons. Defenders fired loaves of bread into the fortress, feeding the starving troops. It wasn't exactly precision artillery, but it worked. Soldiers probably yelled "catch" as they aimed carb-loaded projectiles at their comrades. It's unclear if the bread was sourdough, but either way, it was a holy miracle of sorts. From carb warfare to clever battlefield tactics, let's dive into the story of a knight who played dead to win. The knight who played dead. In the chaos of the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, Sir John Cornwall showed that brains sometimes beat brawn. While knights were busy upholding chivalry and honor, Sir John lay perfectly still among the corpses, pretending to be dead. When unsuspecting enemies approached, he sprang to life and ambushed them. It was less knight in shining armor, and more knight in clever disguise. Sir John's unconventional tactic made him a battlefield legend, and proof that sometimes the best strategy is to play possum. From feigned death to facial hair taxation, let's explore Peter the Great's unusual modernization tactics. Peter the Great's beard tax. In 1698, Peter the Great launched an attack, not on a neighboring kingdom, but on facial hair. Determined to modernize Russia, he imposed a tax on beards. Men who wanted to keep their whiskers had to pay up and carry a token as proof. Imagine today's hipsters handing over cash to keep their man buns or mustaches. Peter didn't stop there. He even personally shaved the beards of some noblemen at court. Progress, it seems, was a close shave. From taxing beards to being overrun by bunnies, let's hop into one of Napoleon's most humiliating defeats. Napoleon's rabbit hunt gone wrong. Napoleon Bonaparte, conqueror of Europe, met his match in 1807, not on the battlefield, but during a rabbit hunt. His men released thousands of rabbits for the event, but instead of fleeing, the rabbits charged. Napoleon and his officers tried to retreat, but the bunnies swarmed them like furry battalions. The emperor barely escaped to his carriage. Let's just say this wasn't his proudest military moment. The rabbits? Victorious and probably plotting their next ambush. From failed executions of rabbits to failed executions of people, let's meet John Babacombe Lee, the man who refused to hang. The man who survived his own execution. John Babacombe Lee was set to hang for murder in 1885, but fate, or faulty machinery, had other plans. The trapdoor beneath him refused to open. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. After the 3rd attempt, officials gave up, and Lee's sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. He became known as the man they could not hang. Whether divine intervention or mechanical failure, John walked away with a sore neck, but his life intact. From death-defying men to the macabre world of Mary Shelley, let's peek into her Gothic keepsakes. Mary Shelley's pet skull. Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein, was as Gothic as her famous creation. After her husband Percy Shelley's death, she kept his calcified heart wrapped in a silk scarf. She carried it with her for years, claiming it was a token of undying love. Friends found it unsettling. Mary probably thought it was romantic. Either way, it makes that time you kept an ex's sweatshirt seem pretty tame by comparison. From eerie mementos to poor investments, let's look at Mark Twain's financial misadventures. Mark Twain's investment in the Page typesetter. Mark Twain, literary genius and occasional financial fool, invested heavily in the Page compositor, a machine designed to revolutionize typesetting. Unfortunately, it was overly complicated and unreliable. Twain poured $300,000 into the project, about $9 million today, only to go bankrupt when it flopped. He later joked, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a visionary, and broke." At least his wit remained intact, even if his wallet didn't. From mechanical failures to dietary disasters, let's dive into the absurdity of the Victorian tapeworm diet. The Victorian tapeworm diet. The Victorian era, a time of tight corsets, questionable health fads, and tapeworms. Yes, people swallowed pills containing tapeworm eggs to lose weight. The idea was simple. Let the parasite eat your extra calories. Of course, this came with side effects like nausea, bloating, and, well, hosting a giant worm in your gut. Advertisements promised effortless slimming, but most participants probably regretted their life choices after the worms overstayed their welcome. From dietary disasters to secret real estate, let's take a peek inside the Eiffel Tower's hidden apartment. The Eiffel Tower apartment. Gustave Eiffel, the man behind Paris's most famous landmark, built a secret apartment at the top of the tower. While tourists marveled at the structure below, Eiffel entertained esteemed guests like Thomas Edison in his cozy hideaway. It was the ultimate penthouse, except without plumbing. Imagine Airbnb today listing luxury Eiffel Tower suite, stunning views, BYOB, bring your own bathroom. Eiffel may not have shared the space, but his taste in real estate was unmatched. From lofty heights to deep jungle survival, let's meet the Japanese soldier who fought a war 30 years too long. The Japanese soldier who didn't surrender. Hiroo Onoda, a Japanese soldier stationed in the Philippines during World War II, refused to believe the war was over. For 29 years, he lived in the jungle, scavenging for food and evading locals. When found in 1974, he was shocked by the modern world. Onoda surrendered only after his former commander ordered him to. His first question? Why is everyone wearing bell-bottoms? Onoda's dedication was impressive, if a little outdated. From jungle survival to aerial treats, let's explore how ice cream became a wartime morale booster. The U.S. Air Force's ice cream bomber. During the Vietnam War, the U.S. Air Force decided that nothing boosted morale quite like dessert. Enter the ice cream bomber, a modified aircraft that dropped frozen treats to soldiers in the field. Imagine being under fire 1 minute and enjoying a sundae the next. Logistically absurd? Absolutely. But for soldiers far from home, catching a pint of Rocky Road was worth the effort, and probably safer than ration packs. From frozen treats to electrifying ideas, let's dive into Thomas Edison's quest to talk to ghosts. Thomas Edison's ghost hunting machine. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, had another bright idea: building a device to talk to ghosts. While never completed, his spirit communication machine sparked rumors of seances in his lab. Imagine modern ghost hunters armed with Edison's contraption, complete with dials, wires, and a faint hum of static. Though it never worked, the idea of chatting with the afterlife remains shockingly ahead of its time. From spooky inventions to cursed artifacts, let's explore the trumpets of King Tutankhamun. The boy pharaoh's trumpet curse. 2 trumpets discovered in King Tutankhamun's tomb are rumored to bring disaster when played. After one was used during a BBC broadcast in 1939, World War II broke out. Coincidence? Maybe. But every time they've been played since, chaos seems to follow. Perhaps some instruments are best left silent, or reserved for musicians who enjoy living dangerously. From cursed music to con artistry, let's meet the man who sold the Eiffel Tower. Not once, but twice. The man who sold the Eiffel Tower, twice. Victor Lustig, a master con artist, convinced scrap metal dealers in the 1920s that the Eiffel Tower was being dismantled. He sold the tower not once, but twice, pocketing the cash before disappearing. His audacity was legendary. He even scammed Al Capone. Lustig proved that if you can dream it, you can scam it. From human con artists to heroic birds, let's meet Cher Ami, the pigeon who saved an army. The pigeon who saved a battalion. Cher Ami, a carrier pigeon in World War I, delivered a message under heavy fire to save 194 soldiers of the Lost Battalion. Despite being shot in the chest, Cher Ami completed her mission, ensuring reinforcements arrived. She became a war hero, receiving medals and a spot in the Smithsonian. Move over, superheroes. This pigeon had courage in spades. From a pigeon saving lives in World War I to an astronaut sneaking a sandwich into space, history proves that heroism and humor can come in all forms. The astronaut, who smuggled a sandwich in 1965, astronaut John Young snuck a corned beef sandwich aboard NASA's Gemini 3 mission. While orbiting Earth, he casually pulled out the sandwich, much to the dismay of his crewmate Gus Grissom and NASA. Crumbs floated everywhere, threatening sensitive equipment. Young later faced a stern reprimand, but honestly, how could anyone resist a little space deli action? It was the first, and likely last, interstellar pastrami experiment. From sneaky sandwiches to strange sports, let's explore the wild world of toe wrestling. The brief history of toe wrestling. In 1974, Britain invented toe wrestling after losing dominance in arm wrestling. The rules? Lock toes with your opponent and try to pin their foot down. The sport had a brief moment of fame but never quite caught on, probably because toe hygiene isn't exactly a crowd pleaser. Still, it's a quirky example of human ingenuity in the face of defeat, or should we say, defeat. From battling toes to battling the elements, let's meet an inventor who tried to revolutionize umbrellas. The inventor who patented 512 umbrellas. In the early 20th century, an eccentric inventor patented 512 designs for umbrellas. Some featured bizarre additions like built-in clocks, bird cages, or even solar panels, way ahead of his time. Unfortunately, most of them were hilariously impractical. Despite his enthusiasm, none became a commercial success, though he did prove that there's no such thing as too much ambition when it comes to keeping dry. From impractical inventions to a machine that couldn't handle losing, let's hear about a chess-playing robot with a temper. The Chess Champion versus the Robot in 1989. A chess-playing robot in Moscow faced off against a 9-year-old boy. When the child moved too quickly, the robot, apparently upset, grabbed his finger and broke it. Officials rushed in to free the boy, who was more stunned than hurt. The incident became a cautionary tale about human-machine interaction. The moral? Always play nice with robots. They're not big on sportsmanship. From finger-breaking robots to a writer who staged his own death, let's wrap up with one of history's most dramatic hoaxes. The writer who faked his own death. In 1928, Brazilian writer Vivaldo Ramos faked his death to see how much people cared about his work. He staged a funeral, complete with tearful friends, before dramatically revealing himself alive. Sadly, the reaction wasn't as enthusiastic as he'd hoped. Instead of boosting his career, he became the butt of literary jokes. Turns out, playing dead doesn't always bring your writing to life. And there you have it. 25 quirky history stories that prove the past is as bizarre as it is fascinating. Whether it's rabbits chasing Napoleon or Edison trying to talk to ghosts, history never runs out of surprises. If you enjoyed this dive into the strange and humorous side of history, hit like, share, and subscribe to History Crossroads. Join us next time as we explore even more hidden gems from the past. See you at the Crossroads.